Welcome back to Good Living. Thank you so much for joining us, and a big thank you to Mayor Bob Parker for joining us on Good Living. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Nice to be here. Thank you.
It's lovely to have you here. Now, I know you had a very busy weekend with different events around Christchurch, didn't you, in the region?
It seems to be the way every weekend at the moment. We've had so many sporting events, and of course on Saturday morning, Le Race set out for Akaroa. So Joe and I went down there, and Joe blew the hooter and I waved him off, and we were on our own bikes, but I have to admit that we didn't go to Akaroa.
So you did your own wee bike ride?
We had our own little bikes. We got a couple of these amazing Eco-Go bikes. They're made locally, and they're brilliant. You can hire them for $22 a week, and they have an electric motor as well in the hub. Right. So if you don't feel like riding, it just becomes like a scooter. Perfect. Or you can pull off this magnificent apparent achievement at the lights where you appear to be pedaling, but you wind the electric motor on full bore and people go, look at that old white-haired guy go, that's amazing, look at the acceleration. You know.
Sounds like my kind of cycling.
Yeah, it was good. It's good in the headwind. And then of course we had the City to Surf yesterday, on Sunday morning, and it was flat tack. I mean, that was 15,000 people jogging, you know, skateboarding, roller skates, the whole 9 yards. It was great, and I love the way teams dress up.
I know.
Do crazy things.
That's right, and we're so lucky that Christchurch love that event, and each year it continues to grow, which is fantastic, isn't it? I
have to tell you, one of our councillors, Sue Wells, sent me a text on Sunday morning to say, I did it. I did the 12Ks in 1 hour 24.
Good on her. Yeah. That's very impressive.
I was very impressed with that.
Done.
Yeah.
Good on you, Sue.
Have to watch Sue now.
Yes, exactly.
That level of fitness is really scary.
Now, it's a big week this week for you, of course, Bob, because it's the official opening of Ocean Outfall, which has been 3 years in the making, literally.
That's right, the Ocean Outfall, which is basically taking the treated water from the Christchurch City wastewater plant, which is then sent out into the oxidation ponds, and what it has done up until now has been discharged into the estuary. And although it's clean from the perspective of fecal contaminants and all those nasty things, that's all gone, but it's very nutrient rich, and that's had an impact on the estuary. Well, we are now about to open the brand new Ocean Outfall. It's 3 kilometres long, state-of-the-art, tunnelled underground using special boring machines, and then a series of diffusion points out in the Pacific Ocean, 3 kilometres out. And it really takes that rich water, and within a few metres of the mixers on the outlet, the richness of the nutrient is neutralised and spread through the water. So it's a great step forward for the estuary, a big step forward for the city. But I think ultimately, you know, that water is a resource. So I think the pipeline's probably limited in a sense that at some point in the future we'll be going an even more creative step forward, and perhaps using some of that water on land as well.
Fantastic.
But it's a big step for the city and a wonderful moment for the restoration of the estuary.
Yes, that's right. So the official opening for that is Wednesday.
It is.
Wednesday night's going to be a busy night for you too, of course, because you're talking about the climate smart strategy and I guess how our city is going to deal with climate change in the next 15 years or so, is it?
Well, it is. It's particularly aimed at the next 15 years, but of course we're all looking at the numbers that the government have said, okay, this is the official amount of the temperature rise, which is about 1 degree over the next 30 years and perhaps 2 degrees by the end of the century. Looking at the predicted level of sea rise over the next 100 years, and then saying, well, how do we as a city cope? What are the impacts, and what can we do to mitigate any potential negatives around that? There are probably also positives around the climate change that's occurring at the moment, and we're not arguing around whether it's man-made or natural or anything like that. We're saying here are the guidelines that our government have said we should be aware of. Let's take that as a baseline, and as a city let's look at that. But let's also look at what we can do as individuals on a sustainable way to improve the way we relate to our environment. And my experience of climate smart thinking is that you actually save money. So if you look at the brand new council building,
that's right.
You know, we're going to be a 6 Green Star rated building, the only 6 Green Star, the highest rating in New Zealand. But we're going to generate all of our own electricity from waste gas from the wastewater plant. And not only will we be generating our needs, we've got enough for the art gallery, and it saves ratepayers over $1 million a year. Now that's thinking smart. It's about being climate smart and carbon smart and seeing how we can take the challenges and turn them into opportunities.
So good to see leading by example there, and this is a public forum as well, isn't it? So on Wednesday night at the Isaac Theatre Royal at 6:30 if you're interested in heading along and finding out about that. Just very quickly, Bob, of course we had the weekend last week, I should say, with Allesley. Another great year, wasn't it?
I think the Allesley show stepped up again. I mean, the first show, I remember Maggie Barry, that gardening guru, saying, "Oh, Christchurch will never make it work." And she came down and saw the first show, and she literally ate her words and wrote a story in the Listener saying that was the best Allesley ever. Well, she came down again and she said, "This is so good. It's even better than last time." And I think the feedback we've had from our community and from the Royal Horticultural Society, who run the Chelsea and Hampton Court in the UK, was we should be proud of this. It's something to be proud of.
Brilliant. So well done to everybody.
Well done, Christchurch.
Yes, indeed. Mayor Bob Parker, thank you so much for joining us. We'll
nice
see you
to
again next month. Good luck.
Thank you.